Howdy. I came across this amazing cosplayer who has, I only know it from the mobile game, the Fire Emblem. That's how I refer to anytime I see a character, the Fire Emblem folk from the iOS game. But I know there's more to it than that. Just beautiful stuff. In a handmade cosplay that is just, the details are beautiful. Can you open your book for a second?
Yeah, sure.
She stores her stuff in here. It's so cool. The cosplay is so beautiful. And she just agreed to be a writer. So she's going to explain how she did this cosplay for us. So thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Can you introduce yourself and tell me about this cosplay today, why you chose it?
Sure. My name is Z. I have an Instagram page that I just recently started called Zodiac Kind. Zodiac is in, like, your zodiac sign, and kind is just K-I-N-D. I chose this costume about 4 years ago. I originally wanted to do somebody else, but I found Tharja's character, like, she was a very interesting character to me. So I originally wanted to do somebody else, but I settled for Tharja. And, at first I was kind of bummed about it because, I wanted to do somebody else. But the more I worked on the costume, the more I fell in love with the character. And I've been cosplaying Tharja for about 4 years, so every time I put on this costume, I feel like I am Tharja. So it's just kind of like that next step that just, like, she's one of my favorites now. Like, when I first started playing the game, she wasn't really my favorite, but now she's like my absolute favorite. Like, I cosplay her any chance I can get, and yeah.
Cool. How do you feel now that this has become mainstream?
Well, I'm going to admit something. I only started playing with Fire Emblem Awakening, which is the one that most people, like anybody who's like a fan of the original series, like way back, like they sit there and they're like, ooh, you like Fire Emblem Awakening. They're not really the biggest fan of it. But I started with that one, and then I just recently played Fates. But I think, like, I obviously have a different opinion than somebody who started way back with, like, the first games. But I think it's, like, with everybody playing the mobile game, I feel like it's really cool because it kind of brings attention to, like, if nobody's heard of Fire Emblem, like, it kind of brings attention to it. Maybe, like, they get a 5-star Tharja, and they're like, oh my god, she's really cool. What game is she from? And, they look into it, and then they, like, play the game just to see, and then, they fall in love with it like I did.
For me, I played the game for a bit, and I think that was one of the first few games where I played the strategic, where you have to place your units just right. And I didn't dig the iOS version so much, but I fell in love with the character design.
Yeah.
Like, they're just so intricate. They're just so, even the ones who seem simple, if you really look at them, I actually uninstalled the game, but then I went back and ordered myself like a Fire Emblem art book.
Yeah.
Because this is what I got out of it. I just want to look at the characters. I want to see, I want to try to draw them, or like hope that I meet a cosplayer who embodies them. I was just like, wow. So this is huge for me.
I feel the exact same way. Like, because like sometimes I don't want to, like, I'm somebody who I like to make my own costumes. So like I made this entire thing, and like sometimes I see people who, like, they buy their costumes, and I don't want to knock that because, some people don't have the talent, or some people just don't have the time. So, but like I see them from, like, the really big known companies, like I think there's like Cosplay Blue and stuff like that, that like it doesn't really embody like a homemade costume, and sometimes they're like lacking details, because like you could look at a character and you could be like, oh, that'll be easy, and then like you start working on it and you're like, wow, this is actually like a lot harder than I thought, because there's so much detail. Like I have to make sure that I have everything right, and I have to have the right colors and everything. So it's something that they're just so detailed, and they're just so, like, such great characters. Like I haven't come across a Fire Emblem character whose like detail and costume I haven't fallen in love with. Like even the guys, like they're just all so amazing. They're so well done.
It blows. Like, I can't imagine the pride you must have felt the first time you put this on.
Oh yeah.
Because again, people were asking just before we started the interview, like, where did you buy that book? Where did you buy that cosplay?
Yep.
And she's just blowing all of our minds, like, oh, I made this myself, and we're just like,
yeah. It's really satisfying when somebody's like, where'd you get that? I want that. And I'm like, oh, I made it myself. And you just see like the look of awe on their face, like, you made that?
Yeah.
Like it really, because like I want to go into this as a profession. I want to be a costume designer. So like, even though I'm just starting out, like to have somebody be that like awe-inspired, like just by my book or by my costume that I made, like it's awesome. It makes me feel so good.
All right. So tell me, what was your first time cosplaying? What was it like? And what was it?
My very, very, very first time cosplaying was 6 years ago at this very same convention. I cosplayed God Tier Jade Harley from Homestuck. I'm not sure if you're very familiar with it, but it's like, it's a big webcomic. And I came here with one of my high school friends, and he was also cosplaying from Homestuck. And it was very nerve-wracking because like I had my aunt help me make the costume, so it was just like a skirt and then a tunic and then like a hood, and then just like a simple pair of red shoes with like tights, and then I remember I bought my wig at Party, I think it was Party City, and it looked so bad, but I just felt it was so happy and so cool to be able to like be that character that, you know, eventually I was like, all right, maybe Party City wigs aren't really the best type of wig I could use. So then, you know, I started like looking into what other people do, and like after that very first convention where I was just so excited to be my character and so excited to meet other people who loved what I loved, I just kind of took it and I kind of just ran with it, honestly. So it was just, my very first con was probably the start of my life right now.
Cool. That sounds amazing. All right, so what does cosplay mean to you? Like if someone who doesn't know your hobby, just knows that you dress up, wants to know like, what is this cosplay thing? What is cosplay? What would you say to them?
Cosplay to me is being able to make my favorite character come to life. So like if I play a game and I'm like, I really like this character, then like I could be that character anytime I want to be, or I can help my friends be that character because I help, like, you know, I help make my friends' costumes. So like if my friend really, really loves this character and it's like, this is my favorite character I've ever come across, like I can help my friend be that person, and it's just like the joy of seeing somebody be who they want to be, because like, you know, I could be a 30-year-old accountant, but I cosplay. So I'm not, in that moment, I'm not a 30-year-old accountant. I am a dark mage of a really powerful country, and I could do whatever I want.
Cool.
So it's kind of like immersing yourself in a whole new existence just for that short time.
Awesome. All right, 2 last questions.
Sure.
1, what is your dream cosplay? I know it's a cliche one, but still, dream cosplay. And then, what is your dream group cosplay?
Ooh, oh, that's a good one. Okay, my dream cosplay, money not required. Like money is no object.
People will help you.
My dream cosplay is to do a skin from a character, League of Legends, Nami. I would want to do her. I think it's her River Spirit cosplay. So I'm not sure if you're familiar, but she's a mermaid, but in that skin she's like very rainbow colored, and she has a pose where she's sitting on a rock and she's singing, and that would be what I would want to do. I wouldn't just want to do the mermaid tail. I would want to be sitting on that rock.
Get a makeshift wheelchair or something.
Yeah, like, you know, just have like the rock be like, you know, my skirt or whatever, and just be like, have the fishtail coming down and just be her on the rock singing.
That sounds amazing. All right, group now.
I've thought about this so much because I only have like a couple friends that cosplay.
I'm sure you're gonna have more by the time.
I might have more, but I think my dream group cosplay, oh, that's a hard one because I don't know. I would say to do Soul Eater.
Okay.
Because I've wanted to do Maka for a while, but I haven't found somebody that wanted to do like Soul or anything, or like anybody else. So like I think that would be cool to just have, like, you know, to have Maka, Soul, and like everybody just in a big group.
Right. All right. You know, once again, tell us what your Instagram is, where we can find you.
My Instagram is Zodiac Kind. It's ZODIACKIND.
Cool. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Cool.